You cannot fail now. Isn't that a saying or a feeling that you want to experience in your life? It could be even when you're just trying to figure out something. You're playing a game, for instance, and you finally figure out the solution. And so now you know that you cannot fail. Or you're doing some particular work that you are loving, and now you finally figured out a really great way of doing that. And so you know that you can keep going because you cannot fail at that point. Well, I came up with that also because I really found that the only reason that you think that you might have failed is when you haven't accepted your authentic self. And I was failing. But my failure was really purposeful because I wasn't supposed to know it until now. Sometimes we come into the world and it takes a while before we can embrace and understand our who we are, why we were born, and accept our authentic selves. That's the only reason that we have any difficulties in our lives. It's the only reason that we don't feel confident, that we're afraid, that we don't have feel a sense of self-empowerment, or that we don't have the right career that we want, or we don't have abundance, we don't have the prosperity, or we don't have the right relationship, and we're stuck in ones that don't we don't like, whatever it is. And it's always the same answer, though. That's what you discover, is that you haven't accepted your authentic self. And that's what I'm doing. I'm going to do that. I did a channeling session yesterday, and it's called New Beginnings, or the how the August new moon might impact you. Well, it impacted me because it's giving me new beginnings as well. Because I'm going to start to accept myself and know that I cannot fail if I keep doing that. And I know that's true for every single person. And I'm going to read something to you because it's a message I received on August 5th of 2023. And that was something that I could never explain to others. How did I receive information beforehand? But that's exactly what's happened. But let me read the message and you will understand it a lot more and probably yourself. And it is this. You cannot fail now. We are taking some liberties with your language today and your use of linear time. The word fail is a human term and has nothing to do with who you are as an eternal, benevolent soul. You came to the earth with a divine plan that is unfolding at this time to aid your evolution and the planetary ascension. You exist at a pivotal time in your life and your world, which we spoke of in our live conversation earlier this week. But now you stand before another upcoming portal that will allow you to expand and evolve, as well as your world. Every experience you have had, every action you took, and every mistake you believe you made was crucial to bring you to this moment so you might access your accumulated wisdom and knowledge to add to your world. You will accomplish that when you love who you have become, release your past, and become willing to envision the life and world you want and access more of your dormant potential. There is no soul born with more ability than you, and it only requires a change in your perception of yourself and your willingness to move beyond your fear and embrace who you are now. You are in the process of manifesting a beautiful future for yourself and the planet, and there is no better time than now for you to do so. We will continue to offer guidance. You will be fine. And that came through last year, which there was another channeling session, but the one that I did yesterday is on my YouTube channel. I'll put a link here, but you can listen to that one as well. Because what I know is that every single person has something within them that if they were to develop, they would love themselves, if they could accept who they were. But we have to do something else. We have to move through our trauma. We have to move through our past beliefs, as the message said. And I had to do all of that. But the thing that you discover when you do that, you start to love yourself. You start to heal in every single way, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, whatever way. And for me, it was physically. I mean, the things that happen, the mind body connections that I have done throughout my life are unbelievable. And I know that's a lot of times people don't understand that. But I'm telling you that when you connect to who you are, you become powerful, you become courageous, you become everything that you could be. And I also know, as that message said, that everyone has a benevolent soul. We've just been programmed to think something else. And that's what was going on. It's what's happening in our world. And I started to discover that I had developed something that could change the world. And I can say that because I know that if more people understood who they were, if they were happy, if they were prosperous, if they were finding their right career, their right relationships, why would you hurt anyone else? Why would you be angry? Why would you be judgmental? You wouldn't be, because you have reached a higher state of understanding of yourself, and now you're putting that into the world. And I have a plan to do that. And I can say that. It was difficult for me to accept that I had spent all of these years, because it started in 1989. But I had spent all of these years downloading a philosophy, which I've written about. I wrote an article about it a couple of years ago, but it was challenging for others to understand that. It was even challenging for me because I'm looking at myself at 73, and everything that was wrong, I've healed. Physically, mentally, emotionally, all of that. The only thing I didn't do was like really own the full value of what I had. And that's why I didn't have the money that I could have had. And that's the only reason that we suffer in any way, because it's all energy. And so when we can embrace the energy of who we are, our authentic selves, then we have the lives we're meant to have, and we have the world, because we're all creating it. Nobody's out there doing anything to us. I spent years thinking, let me blame my parents for everything that's going wrong in my life. And then you understand, oh, well, that doesn't work real well. They're not even here anymore. And that's what we all come to understand. And so that's what I'm doing now. Years ago, when I put this program up in 2021, it kind of surprised me. And you will hear all this because I'll leave a testimonial video at the end. You can listen to it, because these people will tell you that it's changed their lives, everything that has happened. And so, but they only did 31 portions of the work that I have. I have so much, and I'm putting in a full year, because that's how long it would take you to really understand how you change your brain, how you change everything you've thought about yourself, and how you can start to become this empowered person. Now, you may do it a lot quicker, who knows? But I also know that what I'm going to do before I leave this earth is I'm going to finish this. And years ago, when I was first putting this work out, I was meeting with people, and they said you should be charging $5,000, and I couldn't do that then, but I'm going to get there now, because that's what I'm going to be changing. It's not there now. Right now, this program is something that anyone can afford. And if you wanted to become really happy and successful and being in love with yourself, then you would do it. I can say that because I know that it works. I connected to a divine intelligence that works for every single person. It's cosmic intelligence. And so you will understand that. I was listening to somebody, I did an interview for a YouTube channel in Vietnam, and I didn't know it had been released. I just saw it last night that it had been released, and they put a YouTube thumbnail on it that I would not have used because it wasn't what I said. But I saw a lot of the comments. It had like 23,000 views on it, and all these comments coming through. And one person said, "Well, this guy has these outdated beliefs." I guess they are outdated, because the outdated belief is that every single person born has worth and value within them, and all they have to do is develop it, and they live a really great life. And that's what my work causes them to do. And I know eventually that will cause our world to become much better, because you start loving yourself and you stop hating everything else about you and others, and then we create something much better. That sounds really utopian. And so it could be, if you decided that you were going to not fail anymore. And you don't fail when you decide to take the steps in understanding and accepting who you are. And that's what I'm doing now. So I invite you to please subscribe to this channel. If you haven't been here, share it with others. If this work is not for you, please pass it on, because my mission now is to change all of this. And in the next couple of days, you'll see a lot of changes going on. But I'm telling you right now, anybody who does this work, they will have the life they're supposed to have. And anybody at this moment, anybody can afford it. So it's never this financial thing. That's all what I always wanted to do, even though people tried to talk me out of it. But I'm still knowing that there are so many people who will do this. And especially once I put in all the other work, and that's what I'm doing. And I have so many things that are coming out in the next few months. So I really have to get on with it because it's going to be exposed to hundreds of thousands of people. But I know that you can live a really great life, and that's what my work causes you to do. See you soon.
I was really, really blessed to be one of the first wave of people to do the development course with Roger. And it was really eye-opening. I did it at the same time that I was receiving hypnotherapy. I had a couple of really big issues that I wasn't able to overcome. I mean, I'm 47 now, so I was 45 when I first started it. One was an event, and another was a pattern that I kept following time after time after time. I couldn't get through these issues. I went through 3 lots of counseling at different times of my life, NLP, cognitive behavioral therapy, mindfulness, meditation. I just couldn't get past these things. One of them, it was because the event was just really too painful for me to face properly. I never really faced it properly. And the second one, the pattern, was because I just didn't understand why I had this pattern. So the program really helped me to get through that first event and to really face it. With the different exercises that you do, it leads you up to that place. I knew that I was working up to it. And so when it came, it was difficult and it was challenging, but it wasn't as overwhelming as it had been for the whole of my life, like 35 years. So I had 35 years of this massive, massive pain that I just couldn't work through. With the program, I was able to face it, to work through it, and to come to terms with it, to accept what had happened. Not accept it because it was okay, but accept it in a way that was allowed me to move forward and not feel such overwhelming pain. And with time, like everything else, it just becomes easier. So it's still there, but it's not taking over my life anymore. It's not blocking me. So since that, I've been able to build a second business, build my first business as well, help other people even more than I was, because I'm a coach as well. I'm a voice coach. And so I've been able to help other people even more. Then with the pattern, still went through the pattern a couple of times. Anyone who's doing this is bound to be working on doing some other kind of personal development. When you integrate it, it just gives it another edge and a different angle and a different dynamic. And so you have all of these different things to pick from that work for you. It's really about you using what you need at different times. So it was really, really amazing for me. I really can't stress how much.
Every day in the course sort of makes you reflect on yourself, the lessons that Roger sort of learned throughout his life and what he's channeled through his will and what he calls like his spirit, basically. It sort of forces you to do a lot of self-reflection, look at yourself in a different way. And one of the main things that I gained from the program was I thought that my past was all bad. I thought I was having like such a bad experience here. One of the days I remember was going back and rewriting and everything that we thought was bad in our past experience and then extracting at least something good out of it. Realize that you can do that with anything. You would sort of have to become and really look at yourself in a new light, which would be more aligned with your more authentic self.
I've just been regularly for the last 10 weeks and the progress is just amazing. Like you can see changes from week to week. You know, Roger always says, when the time is right, it will happen. So you put yourself in that place to allow it to happen. But also the people that coming into Roger's program, the energy of everyone together is greater than the sum of the parts. For example, last week there was a feedback session and myself and another lady was on with Roger, and she's an energy healer. So she and I have made contact now, and she's working with myself and my daughter who's got anorexia. It's also about how Roger is creating a whole network of people who support each other and make the sum of the parts greater than each individual would be by themselves.
Roger helped me a lot with singing, but also with healing my voice. I was having vocal damage. I had a cyst. I couldn't speak. I couldn't coach. I thought my career was going to end. And I was trying all kind of stuff, techniques over the internet, YouTube, whatever. Nothing seemed to work. From the first lesson, I knew that this is going to heal me. My voice really, really got better. It didn't help me just with my health. It also gave me something that I never thought was possible. Over the years that I've been working, I felt that he was changing my life, changing the way I am. Before, I was kind of angry. I was frustrated, and I didn't realize that. It was just because I was trying to chase my dream, and instead of getting better, I was getting worse. And I felt I was losing everything, and maybe I picked the wrong way. Now I feel that my life is starting over, and everything is better. I mean, every single aspect of my life, my confidence, my income is important, that also, because he gave me something so valuable. That I can share now, and I can change people around here. I can heal other people here.
You really have to be honest with yourself. There's no point doing it if you're not going to go full in. And when I started it, I was like, I'm going to go all in. I jumped in with both feet. If I frame it in terms of building the confidence to face things that I find difficult, to face pain, I've always avoided conflict, and to confront things and people, I think it's probably given me the confidence to do that, because some of the exercises that you do really take you through being able to confront things fully. Whereas before I would just kind of go, oh yeah, I'm going to try and work through this problem, and then not really do it, just kind of halfway through the door. Whereas now I'm like, okay, because I've done that, now I know that I can do this.
I really just wanted to better myself, really. I really thought that there was something wrong, to be honest. Like, going through the program, it sort of just reveals to yourself that, we're all human and we all have these thoughts and negative feelings and emotions. It's really just about feeling them through and then coming through out the other end with something positive. Then from that point, you can move on and do better things from there.
I know I was born with this desire to be a singer, but I only had the desire, not the talent. I'm sure that nobody else could help me the way he helped me. Now I'm starting my career, and now I get the chance to be like this. That's all because Roger helped me.
The way that Roger sets the exercises up and the questions that he asks and the exercises that you do, they are really deep. You do have to really question yourself. Anyone who's thinking of doing this, take the opportunity, because I've done so much work and I haven't done anything like this. There hasn't been anything like this. And I think even if I'd been doing the hypnotherapy without this program, I still wouldn't have gone as deep. I still wouldn't have faced those big issues that I'd been facing my whole life.
Just going through the course and doing all the different practices and all that, it's really made me more comfortable putting myself out there and not really being afraid of other people's perspectives of me. It's made me much more comfortable with who I am. It's allowed me to get to know myself a whole lot more. Before the program, I realized how much I didn't really know myself as much, and really just having to reflect and doing this work on yourself just revealed a lot to me.
Yeah. And that's one of the big things that Roger brings to the forefront of your consciousness, is that everything has a purpose, and you need to turn your mindset around that the challenges aren't bad, but they're good to help you get where you need to go.
I was like, I was mid-40s, sick and tired of having the same rubbish going on that I knew I was creating because I wasn't facing what I needed to face. Because there's other things that I want to do.
Definitely, I would say that it's increased the confidence that I've had in myself and putting myself out there, and also just being able to do more what I feel is right for myself, instead of just feeling like I'm in the wrong place at the wrong time. We're always in the right place at the right time, really, and we just have to recognize where we are.
There's no coincidences. Everything happens for a reason, and it really does seem to. somehow you're in the right place at the right time, and Roger is part of the catalyst for making that happen. He kind of shows that no matter what your age is or where you're at, there's still more you can do.
Thank you so much to Roger. He's been an inspiration for me. I'm so grateful because he's an amazing guy, and he's just so giving. I'm getting emotional. He's just so giving and loving. It rubs off.
I don't think he realizes how much he touches people and the influence that he has on people's lives, and all the little things that accumulate, and you don't even realize the change is happening, and then suddenly you wake up one day and go, oh wow, look where I am now compared with where I was 6 months ago.
Since I started working with Roger, everything changed in my life. Everything, every single thing. I get to get auditions, I get to get clients, I get to get everything. The way I am, the way I changed. I always tell him that, Roger, you saved my life. It's not just my voice. He just saved my life.
He's very much someone I admire as a role model. He made a big difference in my life.
If you've got an opportunity to work with Roger, just take it. Whatever it is, just take it.
Are you ready to transform your life too? Your last development program, Life Transformation for Success, the newest part of Roger Burnley's coaching series. It's the last personal development program you will ever need. Learn more at yourlastdevelopmentprogram.com today.